TGC Requiem, we're here with a Green-Black Elves League. We are on the play. Made some more changes, tweaking the sideboard around some more. Also adjusted the main deck a little bit, going back up to 3 Chord of Calling. Probably more land than we want, but I do like it. We've got a lot of flexibility with Pendelhaven, Cavern. 3 good pieces, allows us to draw into some stuff. So, and have a pretty good start. Typically don't like 4 land, but this is about as good as 4 land's going to get. I actually kind of just prefer going Nettle Sentinel here with this kind of slower start because we're really wanting to get beats in case we don't draw into anything. Goblin Guide. We will definitely trade this. Next turn we'll plan on going in Pendelhaven into Archdruid and have Pendelhaven to kind of help with a blocker. At least we're only taking 2 this turn. I don't think it behooves us to trade. I don't know, 1 for 1, and the amount of damage he can do is significantly more. So the flip side of that is if we play Archdruid, pumping with the Pendelhaven is not really a functional option. And we could attack back for 4 if we needed to. But the amount of damage he can scale with it, I think we do block here. We have enough mana to do what we're needing to do next turn. So we can't, yeah, so now we're in that position where Pendelhaven doesn't really do us anything right now. I think we do take up Hot Shot here though. Because we want to kind of put ourselves into a racing situation now. A lot less appealing when he has 2 prowess creatures. This game is far from decided at this point. So 5. And another 4. So 9 damage that turn. Could use something other than a land right now. So the flip side is he's down to 2 cards. I mean, we kind of are in this position where we can hold back and block. I think the worst thing we see him do is maybe get like a fetch. Well, I guess the worst thing we can see him do is drop in 3 lightning bolts, or lightning bolt equivalents. And if we don't block, then we're kind of dead. But honestly, if we do, what are our odds of winning? I think we go here and we hope he kind of doesn't have enough. If he has 2, that's 1. I guess if he gets a white source and a Boros charm, that's 4, 5, 6, and a bolt. Puts 10 exactly. But I feel like at this point, if we don't get going at him, we're never going to win anyway, since we're kind of flipping out. So I think we just go for it. We don't really have any incidental life gain here. Now hopefully he's imagining we have a collected company. So as for the keep, I'm not really disappointed in the keep. I think the keep that I had for a 4-land keep was good. It gave us the ability to draw into some stuff. So he's actually kind of putting himself into a little bit of a pinch here. I mean, he certainly is making us have to spend more. But I mean, it's kind of like no different than keeping a 1-land hand. It's not 100% true. 1-land hand with a bunch of mana dorks still produces mana. Having no creatures. We're kind of on the assumption here he has another land. Dwynen's Elite is kind of perfect. I think we attack in with the elf here. If he blocks with the Eidolon... Actually, okay. No, we don't attack here. We're kind of in a position now where he's pinched himself to the point where he's got to do damage to himself to attack. We can play creatures and hopefully get wide enough around him to finish him off. If we get lucky enough to get into a chord or collected company, we're going to do all right. We're going to go Pendelhaven just in case he kills our Archdruid. He still could have the right 2 spells to kill us, but for him to spend that, 1 spell is going to put him down to 10. Now we're at what? 6-9 on the board. We really need to, but we could actually chump block here now as well. Molten Rain. Alright, so he's going to do 2 to himself, 2 to me, destroy a land, which we're still on black, so we're okay. Hopefully he attacks the Swift Spear in, right? No, he doesn't. So now I actually think we attack with everything, and we kind of put him in this position where he has to be concerned that we're going to create a pump. Just trying to think if it's worth sending the Archdruid in. So we can keep 2 blockers back. So if we attack with 7, so we're definitely dead if he doesn't block at all. 2, 4, 6, 9. We're trying to set up the position where if he only blocks 1, he's still going to take 9, which is not really realistic. I think we have to leave the Archdruid back. That's kind of one of those where you want to bluff, but if he blocks even 1 creature, the bluff kind of fails. So we kind of have to do this. It puts us down into 3, which is potentially lethal. It's possible we just try and hope he doesn't have anything. But we're really just hoping he's mana screwed at this point. And that's game. So the other route is we could have not done that, but if we hadn't done that, he still is going to get the lethal damage through. So, we were kind of darned if we do, darned if we don't in that one, which is fine. So on the play we lose. We'll be on the play for game 2. We're going to bring in Leyline. We don't really need Sylvan Messenger in this matchup. Excuse me. We will bring in Essence Warden. I think we cut a Nettle Sentinel. Maybe just 2, or no, another Visionary. Card draw is good here, chumps. So I got three things going on. So we have one leyline, which ideally we have in our opening hand, but I've replaced the other two leyline with Essence Wardens for whenever a creature enters the battlefield. I do think we maybe want to bring in one Beast Within, perhaps. I don't think it's necessary. We just know we're going to take some hits. I think actually Nettle Sentinel we need to keep in here. We could probably actually cut a Heritage Druid and possibly a Dwynen's Elite, as our first creature is apt to die, meaning those are going to be less explosive to start the game. So this doesn't have any of our sideboard cards, which is fine, but it allows us to unload with some power on board pretty fast. I actually think this is fast enough to potentially beat them. We're going to start into Mystic. May slow roll the Elvish Champion just a teeny bit, because if he does end up playing Naya Burn and fetch for a forest, Rift Bowl, that's actually about the best that could have happened there for us. So he may actually have to consider going at one of our creatures now, which is a win for us. So we're looking at attacking back for 8, but little does he know we're attacking back for up to 12. Yep, so he has to go to creature, which is good for us. Searing Blaze, such a good card. And the question here is, do we attack or throw another creature down? I think we're getting to kind of a storm right now. We wanna do Elf Ball strategy here. He hasn't spent. I mean, he's had one spell that's targeted one of our creatures and us. Right now he's looking at no more than 6 damage this turn, where we can come back with 12. And we actually will allow the Goblin Guide through this time if he attacks. Oh, that's fantastic. So now we are coming through for 15. If nothing else happens. Still wasting, not wasting, removal on us. Still using removal on us. Spends the whole turn there. So blocks are going to be dependent upon what we see off this guide. So he actually didn't even attack with guide. Alright, Shaman of the Pack is good. There's no point in showing anything else here. And there's really no point in attacking this turn. I mean, we definitely lose a guy to do 2 damage, but we could rather see what's going to happen and determine if a chump block is necessary, or force him to kind of use his own spot removal. I don't know that attacking my land is a good way to go about beating me, but maybe I'm wrong. So he's got 3 in hand. I mean, he could do 11 back to us if they're all burn spells. If he doesn't block with the Goblin Guide. I feel like it is beneficial for him at the moment to trade for the Shaman. That puts him down to 8. No creatures on board. And that's a 3-turn clock. However, if he doesn't block in hopes of coming back at us, we have 6. We still wouldn't have, yeah, we'd have him the next turn. I think we're going to press the attack here. So I mean, kind of worst case, he has a Searing Blaze, a couple Lightning Bolts, and a Goblin Guide. Okay, so Eidolon actually kind of locks him out here. As low as he is. I don't really see any reason to do anything at the moment. Next turn we'll definitely play a Cavern. more than happy to let him lock himself out of spells. We are getting a little low on time. It's just, shouldn't say I've been more thoughtful than necessary, but a little more thoughtful so far. I think we're okay to throw one down. This still puts him in a position where he has to spend 3 burn spells with what he's got in hand. And if he spends 3 burn spells, that kills him. So the flip side is this allows us to just hold the fort, determine if we want to chump and or trade for Goblin Guide and or Eidolon. A collected company or Court of Calling would be very beneficial, actually. We're still not going to play that. If we get another elf, we'll consider playing it. But unlikely. We're still at a net loss of life right now by playing it. Until he gets 2 white sources for Boros Charm, I guess, or 6 mana sources for what's the new Exquisite Firecraft? Okay, so we actually get to see what he's gonna give us. Heritage Druid. So I think here we're actually going to trade Nettle Sentinel and just chump the Eidolon, which still locks him out of doing damage to us. Allows us to attack back for 4. Or more likely 3. Which pinches him even tighter. So this is essentially the same thing. Oh no, he loses 1 less life. But now we will cast this guy as he's 2 spells away. That buys us another 2 life damage. And it'll actually start offsetting damage for us by 1. Hey, that's what we're looking for. So we'll do this on his end step. So we can hopefully come back with lethal. And that actually should be lethal, because even if he casts a spell now, it's over. Alright, so we will be on the draw for the third game here. I do feel like Visionary is worse than Elite. The trade-off for the card is just really not doing it. I think we're good to keep this though, otherwise. This is a good keep. I'm going to start with Nettle Sentinel, because Essence Warden can actually offer us quite a bit of value in the later turns. We have a lot of 1-drops to draw into, and Collected Company can get us multiple triggers. Sweet art on that Rift Bolt. So this is actually perfect. I was kind of hoping for a situation like this where we could lead an Essence Warden. Into a dork. And then hope to hold out on him. So we're 1 land away from starting to put a lot of life gain triggers on the stack. Yeah, so he's got to go after that, which is fine. He really can't attack the Eidolon into the Nettle Sentinel, because we will take that trade. There's a Pendelhaven. Come on. So we can shaman. We can do actually quite a bit here. And I think we kind of have to. Maybe we should have started with a collected company. Yeah, I think I kind of blew that one. We could have. Junk. Well, there's no not doing it now. He just has to have one spell. Shoot. Well, so I was thinking we could run in that. But if we had started with collected company, we might have been able to do so much. That was a missequencing on my part. That's frustrating. Yeah, because we could have collected company. We might have only been able to get one shaman down, but we wouldn't have taken. No, I mean, we still were going to take the same amount of damage that we've already taken. Alrighty. So pretty sure that's game. I mean, all he has to have is one spell. Yep, there we go. Well, that's a bummer. Good for you. Hey, I can kill you more. All right, so going back to this, I think the issue, if we back up to that, was I could have tapped 3 and a spare land to collected company. After the collected company resolved, who knows what we hit? Maybe we hit a shaman in there already. Maybe we hit another essence warden. A variety of things could have happened that would have allowed us to potentially win. The flip side is we don't know that he's going to come at us with the searing blood, which hurts. But even so, I took a unnecessarily aggressive line there. I think I was kind of worried with where our life total was that I needed to put him into a range where he would kill himself with his Eidolon triggers. But I overreached, is really what it came down to. There's really no reason I shouldn't have run the collected company first. And actually, after I run the collected company, there's a legit chance that I attack into his Eidolon. Um, I don't think I would have, but there's a chance that we do that. That probably just puts him into the ability to drain us out or get us with what lava spike and flame. So he had 7 damage there. We would have been in a different situation. So yeah, no, I think I think that was definitely a misplay. Should have sequenced the collected company first and then seen what that would have brought. Out of curiosity, if we take a peek, just for reference, I don't normally do this sort of thing, but if we draw a card, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we would have hit Archdruid, which actually, had we played that, might... So he may not have Searing Blooded, which would have caused us to not... maybe he wouldn't have. We don't know that. He probably would have. So probably lose a Nettle Sentinel anyway. Maybe we have some ability to attack, but I think we put him into a position where he has to draw perfect for us to not kill him with combat damage the next turn. So in that case, we almost don't even need to Shaman of the Pack. So that may have led to a win. I'm just again trying to think through what I did wrong here and make sure I don't do it wrong next time. So definitely think I think that was winnable. We were at a low life total. It was unnecessarily aggressive to go for the Shaman. I have to say there's probably some muscle memory involved in that play, as I was playing my buddy earlier this week, and he dropped a turn 2 Eidolon, and I essentially beat him, kind of doing the math that my only chance to win was to unload my hand through the Eidolon and drop 2 Shaman that were in my hand. And that is what I did, draining myself 14 damage off of his Eidolon. But it put him into a position where he could not cast what he had in hand to kill me without first killing himself off the Eidolon triggers. So just because it's worked once doesn't mean it's always going to work. All right, I'm going to stop yabbering, but that was the first match. We'll be back with a second match shortly.